Cheers and good morning. Good morning, New York. That's what my new show is going to be called, because today I have a wonderful special guest. Her name is Jamie, and today we're hanging out. We got our caffeinated drinks. We went to lunch. We went to Pier 1, which is one of our favorite places. I wanted to ask her a question, and I thought I would do it on the vlog, in case anyone else is curious.
Okay.
Okay, I live in a town that is relatively small, and there's not a lot of action or places you can go for fun things. And so for me, I often think, like, am I missing out being here? Do I want to move someplace else? And Jamie has recently moved from California to here and says that she would prefer to be here
Rather than anywhere else in the world.
rather than anywhere else. So I feel like that's encouraging to anyone else who might be here in small area and feel like they are missing out. So you don't feel like you're missing out by being here?
No, I think I was missing out 17 years of my life before I found this place.
Okay, why? Like, what are some things that you like about our area that you didn't have in, like, California?
The obvious, 4 seasons. I had never had 4 seasons. I had 2 seasons, hot and less hot, which is in the less hot season it would rain a little. California's in a drought, so there's no water, but now it's a crisis. Everything's on fire because of the wildfires, which we don't have any water to put out. So, I mean, California is a great place except for the lack of water and the fact it's on fire.
Interesting.
But here, the trees all changed colors. There are Amish people.
And that's a highlight for you.
That's a highlight. People don't believe me when I say
There's
that little horses and buggies go prancing down the roads.
Yeah, okay.
There's a stall for them at the Walmart. That's a big deal.
That's true.
I took pictures of that when I first came here and like posted them online just so people would believe me.
That's awesome.
And it's quaint. When my father first moved here, he was living in Krogan. He went to the meat market in Krogan. And he bought like $100 worth of meat.
Right.
Got up to the front. It didn't take credit cards. And so he was like, oh no, I'll have to come back. And the man said, don't worry, take it and just come pay me back later. And like in Fresno, nobody's going to do that. Who's going to trust you to pay for $100 of meat?
Yeah.
You don't have to lock your doors here.
True.
You don't have to lock your house here.
And in Fresno,
You have bars on your windows.
yeah, do you really?
Not in my side of the town, but like in lots
In a lot of them.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere alone, whereas like here, if you send your kids to the Lowville movie theater,
Yeah.
you just give them $10 and you know they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if they get tired, then some nice townsperson will bring them
Yeah,
home.
right. That is true. I hear a lot. Sometimes people will leave and they'll come back and they'll say, because it's such a good place to raise your kids. And then I have to think, you know, that's true. It really is a nice place to raise a family.
Yeah. Because I feel like even in Syracuse when I was living there, you don't feel like people generally care about you.
Yeah.
Like people you don't know aren't looking out for you. Whereas in Lowville, people you don't know and have never met have this, like, they look out for you.
That's neat.
They don't even know you.
Yep.
I had my car break down at Walmart. I got out, I popped the hood, and it had not been like 10 seconds, and I had 2 lumberjack men on either side of me telling me what I needed to go to the store and buy.
Oh, that's so neat. Now, the other big thing that you just did is that you recently switched from going to law school, and you were 12th in your class or something?
Yeah.
12th in your class, and you had like a full ride scholarship?
Yeah.
Okay, and you have since decided to switch that
Yes.
to follow what you feel like you would actually want to do.
Yes.
And how do you feel now that you've made that decision?
It doesn't sound like a safe decision. It doesn't sound like a safe, like, certain bet. I feel like in life there are certain paths that, like, you become a lawyer or a doctor or a nurse. People just hear that and they assume, like, oh, that person has their life together and they're responsible and smart. And I think sometimes if you're good at school, you get pushed down those paths either by other people or even by yourself. I think I pushed myself down that path.
Yep.
And it just didn't fit at all. So sometimes I think, like, you have to force yourself to let yourself be a little selfish with your decisions.
Yeah.
Let yourself look a little irresponsible.
And
still make good choices, but try to find that like
and go
balancing
where
point.
you're being led.
So I'm leaving it to go into teaching, hopefully.
Yay.
Which is what I wanted to do beforehand. I just thought I couldn't do it, so
Yep.
I'm going to push that fear aside.
Yep.
And I will find a job, even if it takes 10 years.
Yep.
I'm not going to be afraid.
And you want to do English, right?
Yeah.
Yay.
I love English, I love words, I love books.
Yep.
And I love like teaching people how to express themselves. Because I think like any class in college, like if you can't write an essay, you're not going to be able to get a scholarship.
Right.
If you can't write an essay, you're not going to be able to pass the majority of your classes.
Yep.
And if you can't communicate, then even at the workplace, like if you can't communicate what you're trying to say in a compelling way, it's just, life is harder.
Yeah. Oh, that's very neat.
I hope it works out.
Yep.
Please cross your fingers for me.
I think that's inspirational for, I really do, because not just in the career, but there's so many things that we can feel led that we know is not the popular decision.
Yeah.
And I think that's very neat to have to not get your approval of who you are and if you're making the right choice by what other people think. So
yeah.
Okay, so now to end with one silly question.
All right.
If you could describe yourself as an animal, what animal would you be?
A bird.
Oh, that was quick.
Probably like a hawk.
Oh, wow.
Because it goes really quickly.
Okay.
It can be flighty.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm indecisive, obviously.
Okay.
I think a hawk can read a book from like a mile away.
Okay.
So I would definitely appreciate that skill.
Yep.
But they're sharp.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
It's a smart bird.
It's like a witty, clever bird.
It's like a witty, clever bird.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a bird, and birds are delicate and fragile and feathered.
Wow. Who knew we'd get such a good answer? All right. That's our show for today on Good Morning New York. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye. Before I go, I have a crazy closing story to tell you. So, as you know, I hung out with Jamie today, and while we were hanging out, an ambulance went whizzing by with its flashing lights, and I told her, I said, I kind of have a confession. At home, if I hear the siren, I will quick turn on my scanner and hear what's going on, and then if it's close enough, I will go to it. Not enough to get in the way, and I know it's kind of a silly thing to do, but if I can get there first or drive by and see, then I like to do that. So today when I got home from hanging out with Jamie, the siren goes off, and I thought, yeah, if it's close enough, just because we talked about it, I'm going to go to it. So I turn on the scanner, and a little, not very far away from me at all, less than a mile away, there's a car accident. And I'm like, oh, I can get there quick. So I put on my shoes, got in my car, and I went to it. And I know I probably should tell the story because it's kind of embarrassing for me that I do that. But when I drove by, my friend Brock, I thought it was his car. So I texted Brock and I'm like, are you okay? I see that there's a car here and it looks just like yours. Is it yours? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I'm fine. And it wasn't me. So it wasn't Brock. So I was like, whew, crisis averted. Well, then about 10-15 minutes later, I got a text from Jamie, who I just spent the day with. And she said, you won't believe it, I just got in a car accident. It was her car that was in the accident. I didn't see any people there. I didn't see her, so I didn't know it was her. So she's fine, she's okay, but she was in the accident. The airbag deployed, so her car is totaled. So I called my parents, and my parents have a vehicle for her to use for a while. So that's great, and she's okay, but oh my gosh, I just think it's so crazy that the next time the siren went off, and I just talked with her about it, she leaves and it's her. And now I will officially say bye-bye. If you haven't yet and you're interested, click the little red subscribe button and join me on normal, everyday life adventures that I like to document so I can look back in years to come and have the memories there. Bye!